This government, Mr. President, has a proud record of respect of the citizens' rights to liberty and the right not to be deprived thereof except by due process of law. We've kept those rights at the forefront of this amendment, which is before this House, and we are cognizant of the fact that what we are seeking to do is to improve so that judge-alone trials, which on the records that are now before us, can be completed in a matter of days as opposed to taking the months and weeks and months that otherwise bewail our system. The system is therefore able to move that more quickly, more criminal trials can be heard, and we are addressing the issue of backlogs. It is not, and I repeat this, it is not this bill that brings the amendments for the Jury Act and the Criminal Procedure Act is not a panacea for all the ills of our criminal justice system. It is part of a work in progress, which we must move forward with as one of the objectives of supplementing the efforts in overhauling our criminal justice system. Mr. President, the policy behind this bill has been in development since 2020, with a feedback from stakeholders who were invited to participate as far back as 2020 and were received. The feedback was received by my predecessor in the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs. And I regret to have to go on record to say this. One of the early stakeholders who was invited to contribute and did contribute in that consultation process was the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago. I am saddened today to be able to acknowledge that notwithstanding that process of earlier consultation, correspondence invited of the Law Association by the Office of the Ministry of Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs in developing this bill, that I found myself here on Friday to be told by colleagues in this August chamber that the Law Association had produced a submission which was being commented on and spoken to by other members of the House, which I had not received, not even a copy of, until after the House had begun its sitting. I am saddened by that, but that fact notwithstanding, may I say this unequivocally, Mr. President. I have listened attentively, as I said at the beginning of my wind-up on Friday, to all of the concerns that have been placed before this House by all of the senators, and in particular, and I've paid tribute to them already, the independent senators on a number of issues, not least the issues raised regarding jury numbers, informative data, criteria to inform the interests of justice, that concept which is time-worn from time immemorial, the rationale introducing the introduction of lay assessors in place of special jurors, and the role of those lay assessors. I believe that such matters, Mr. President, can be further explored to enable this bill to be passed into law in this chambers in the shortest possible time, and accordingly, Mr. President, I beg to move.